During this time, there was a space race to see which country could accomplish a space achievement.
JFK's quote in 1962 was, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade, not because they are easy, but because they are hard."
Why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.
Shortly after NASA was formed and the Apollo mission started.
Apollo 11 was the first manned mission on the moon and was a massive barrier breaker.
Apollo 11's crew was consisted of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins.
Apollo 11 launched on July 16, 1969.
Apollo 11's trip to the moon took about 75 hours and 50 minutes.
And counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
We got a roll program. Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on a proper heading. Plus 30 seconds. Roll complete and pitch program.
Michael Collins didn't get off the rocket due to a spinal problem.
When they landed on the moon's surface, they explored for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon first and spoke the famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind."
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
While they were on the moon, they collected 49 pounds of moon rocks.
Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were on the moon for approximately 21 hours and 36 minutes before launching back off.
Even though only 2 of the astronauts stepped on the moon, they will all be remembered.
When they were taking off to go back to the Earth, the flag they placed blew over.
Apollo 11 landed back on the Earth on July 24, 1969, 12:50 p.m. They landed in the Northeast Pacific Ocean where they were picked up at the USS Hornet. After they returned to NASA, they were quarantined for a week if they caught any moon viruses. Apollo 11 inspired millions of people that anything is possible. Apollo 11 broke not only the space barrier, but many other barriers as well. Computers helped NASA scientists calculate the telemetry needed to get the moon and helped Apollo astronauts operate and maneuver the spacecraft. NASA also had to design and build a vehicle that not only could get the astronauts to the moon, but land on it. When Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin finally touched down on the moon, they stepped out in the redesigned spacesuits flexible enough to walk on the moon's surface while still protecting against the vacuum of space. As we prepare to return to the moon with the Artemis missions, NASA has asked the help of the American industry to try to help us expand our exploration footprint on the moon. Exploration on the moon is very important because nobody really knows what's on the surface of the moon. With the Artemis programs, NASA will land the first woman and the next man on the moon by 2024, using innovative technologies to explore more of the lunar surface than ever before. NASA is planning to use what we learn on the moon to take the next giant leap, sending astronauts to Mars.